Hello YouTube. All right. So today's video, I'm going to give you guys a review of my Condor 3-day assault pack. I've had this pack for a couple of years now, and you wouldn't know what to look at it because it's still in fairly good shape and it's held up well. But I just want to go over this pack here today just to give you guys a review, just to show you that just because it says Condor, maybe it doesn't necessarily make it a bad brand. I know some guys hear that name and they kind of laugh, but show you guys a little bit about this pouch and this pack, and we'll go over it. We'll look at it. So on the front of these, lots of molly, lots and lots of molly. You can put all kinds of stuff on here. I've got just some carabiners on here for now, but I haven't had in the past a couple of different pouches attached to here. I think I had a first aid kit attached at one time, and another admin type pouch. And again, in these loops here with the molly, they're well stitched. The stitching is robust, and everything's held on. I've had no issues there at all. And then we've also got a big front pouch here in the back, which goes the full length of this. It's good for, say maps or books or those types of things. You can put maybe some food in there if you want to. So there's lots of room in that front pouch for whatever you want to fit in there. And it's got, the zippers are well made. I believe they're YKK zippers, I believe. No issues at all with the zippers. None at all. And I've had this pack pretty well packed right full and never any issues with the zippers. On the bottom here on the front, we've got another big pouch with zippers. Now this one here opens right up. And got lots of room in there. There's more. Again, this Condor. This is a tactical style pack, so that's kind of the design idea. So again, these are meant for magazine pouches. I didn't use them for magazine pouches. The tactical thing isn't really my deal, but this pack served me for hunting and hiking. So I had things like I had a compass, and I had some fire starter in one, and I think some matches in another possibly. And then in the front pouch here, I think I had some spare socks at one time, and some gloves and maybe a toque. But again, these pouches they're well made, they're sturdy, the stitching is well done. There's no issues with that. I have had no issues at all with rips and tears and those types of things. So that pouch is good. You can fit a lot of gear in here. I had it pretty well full when I was using it, going on some of my hunting trips in the backcountry, and yeah, no issues at all. I had lots of gear in there. Also on the front, there's another big pouch here. Again, lots of space, lots of room. You can put all kinds of stuff in here. I mean, I had some spare gear. I had my hunting saw, my game saw in here, which folded up and fit in here. Again, this has got some military design to it. So I mean, there's pouches in here for magazines, right? So that's what these are for. You can put a I think there's meant for like an AR-15 magazine to go into that one, right, with a strap to hold it. Same with on this one, same thing. And just more admin type things. You got some pens and pencil holders there. You've got pouches for various gear. There's three of them. So there's this one, there's this second one, which is, let's see, the middle one, and then this back one, which is the biggest. And I had all kinds of stuff in here. I had camping gear, I had fire starting, I have a little metal camp stove that folds up that I fit in here, no problem. And it's also got a key ring holder. I had a little Leatherman on here that just hung there, and again, no problems. Again, the stitching is good stitching. I didn't have any issues with that at all. So that's this front pouch. It's big, it's bulky. You can fit all kinds of stuff in there, and you won't run out of space. I can assure you of that. And again, no issues with the zippers at all. On the sides here, this pack has two large side compartments, and they are very well made, very well stitched. I had at the time I had two Nalgene bottles. One on this side and one on this side. And these side pouches are deep enough. They held the Nalgene bottles just fine, without issue. and it worked out just fine. I mean, you don't have to put Nalgene bottles in there. You could put other gear, right? who knows what you could put, spare clothes, spare socks maybe, or toques and gloves, or those types of things. Lots of room. You can hold all kinds of stuff in there. Yeah, I use Nalgene bottles for these, and it worked just fine. And on the outside, we've got more moly. And I believe on one of these sides I had a first aid kit, I think, attached on one side. And again, no issues at all with the loops here. The stitching held up just fine. I had no problems at all with that. So there was that. It's got a side handle, so if you choose you want to carry it a different way, different like this, like a suitcase, it's got that side handle. Stitching, no problem. Double stitched, on both sides. Very robust, no issues there at all. On to the back of the pouch here, the back of the pack, I should say. The shoulder straps, very thick padding. I thought that maybe this would be an issue when I got this pack. I thought, well, yeah, this seems thick, but if I get it loaded down with gear, is this really going to work as well? Am I going to be comfortable? And I was really impressed with this. These they're thick. They're very comfortable when you put the pack on. There's no issues there at all, and it holds. When you get weight in this pack, the thickness really does help. Really hold that weight, and the straps don't dig into your shoulders at all. Right, so there's no issues there, and these are very well stitched. I don't know if the camera shows that, but the stitching here to hold these is very well done. And I can tell you from personal experience that I had this pack, right loaded up on a couple of trips, backcountry hunts, and no issues at all. I mean, this pack is well made, it's well built, and I did not have an issue at all, packing this on my back. We've got a sternum strap here, which is adjustable up and down, right? So it goes all the way up to there, and it goes all the way down to the very bottom for various sizes of people that may be using it. What else? Oh, let's talk about here is the bladder pouch for your water bladder, your hydration bladder. And I've got mine in here. This is just a little standard, I think, 2-liter water bladder. And I think I got it at Cabela's. And again, you can fit bigger ones in here. You've got lots of room for a bigger water bladder if you wanted to put one in there. Mine, like I said, mine's just a small one, but it worked out fine. Or if you wanted, you can put other gear in here. So if you have other gear you want to put, you got tons of space in here to put more gear if you wanted, if that was an option too. And again, with the water bladder, I mean, you've got that space in there, and then on this side here, there's one on either side, but they have the holes here, so you can feed the your bladder tube out through here, right, and then down your strap to wherever's comfortable for you. And there's one there, and there's another port right here. So whichever side you want, you've got that option. So the hip straps on this pack are very well made, well built, robust, heavy duty clips. I never once had an issue at all with this. No, and I had this out in the wintertime last winter on a hunting trip to the tail end of the season, and it was cold out, and no issues at all with that. Again, lots of stitching. Stitching is very well done. It holds up really well, and so there's that, and I'm glad that again it's well made and there's no problems there. Padding on the back is another big bonus. Another thing I will talk about. Nice, this is kind of that lower lumbar padding. This is nice and thick, and these other pads on the back here are well placed, and they're thick enough that when you get this pack loaded down with gear and you get it on and strapped in and cinched in, the padding is thick enough and it's placed in the right spots so that it really is comfortable to wear a heavy load with this pack. I was a little bit concerned when I got the pack. I thought, well, these didn't seem very big, and they didn't seem very, robust, and I was kind of worried that they wouldn't be that great. But I found when I got the pack loaded down and I'm out hiking that I was actually quite impressed with this setup, how they designed this. So they put some thought into it, that's for sure, and they did a good job. So I was really impressed with that. And you know, another thing I'll point out is that on the bottom here is that we've got these, you know, grommets, right? Holes for, you know, sand and dirt, and they're on the side pouches here and here. There's one there, and there's one on this front pouch here. So there's that. That's you know, another added feature. Overall, guys, I would definitely say that, you know, these are good packs. I mean, if you're thinking about getting one, I absolutely would recommend it. I'm going to show you guys the inside, the main pouch here. Now, this is pretty big. This is pretty big, and I want to give you guys just a reference for how big this is. I'm not sure if the camera does it justice, but let me show you guys something. Here is my Maxpedition Pygmy Falcon 2 backpack, and that fits right inside there. And the Pygmy Falcon 2 is it's a nice pack, and I'm going to do a review on it later. But just for a size comparison, just to give you an overall idea how big the main compartment of this Condor pack is, I can fit this pack inside here, no problem. And again, I mean, when I was using this pack, I had lots of gear. I had spare clothes and other things, and it held up well. I mean, it's got straps in here, so you can put gear and stuff, just like a suitcase, right? So you can strap everything in, right? And do it up, right? So you've got those straps there. There's a side strap in here as well, right? So you can put, you know, if you want to just use this one, you've got that option as well. So plenty of straps, makes it easy to keep gear in here. You got a huge space. When I was using this pack, I had a sleeping bag, a tarp in here, and some spare clothes, all strapped in here. And I still had a little bit of room on, you know, on the outside for maybe other small items if I really wanted to. The other side here, where we've got the mesh pockets, well made, well built. I never had an issue. I mean, these bottom ones here are pretty big. I had some, you know, some freeze dried foods and stuff in this bottom one, and there's plenty enough room in this pouch, and even in this top one, if you wanted to, you could fit 2 Mountain House freeze dried food packets, 2 in the bottom and 2 in the top one if you wanted to, and with a little bit of room to spare. So I found that for my purposes, that's exactly what I did. I had freeze dried food in here, and again, I had plenty of room, and there was no issues there. And the zippers, no issues at all with the zippers. Nothing's broken. It held up just fine. I never had any problems with any of that. So yeah. Other than that, guys, this pack is really well made. I'm actually quite impressed. I kind of, when I did my research after a suggestion from a friend, I kind of laughed a little, right? I thought, oh, Condor, that's that airsoft stuff that you see guys run around with airsoft all the time. And so I kind of laughed at it a little bit and didn't really give it much thought. And my friend said, no, try it. You know, it might work out well and you might actually like it. So I, you know, took his advice, and I'm glad I did, because, you know, I used it for hunting and backcountry camping and hunting and hiking, and it's worked well. I have a new pack now, so this is going to be a secondary pack, or maybe I'll gift it to somebody else who maybe doesn't have one in my family or a friend. But good packs, lots of room, lots of space, well made. Condor did a good job on this, I must say. So if you're thinking about getting one, or you're kind of on the fence, you're not sure, and you kind of hear that name Condor and you're kind of wondering, don't hesitate, because I would give this a thumbs up, because these are well-made packs, and I'm glad I bought mine. So, all right, guys, there you go. There's the review of the Condor 3-day assault pack, and I will see you guys on the next video.